the Word is going to have to change our motives in order to change our physical, natural lives. Man, I mean, this is so important. For instance, let's take, well, I'll tell you an area that's on everybody's mind right now, and that's whether you're overweight or not. Now, what is your motive for going on a diet? Well, I want to look good in my clothes. Well, I want to tell you something, that ain't going to last long, brother. That won't hold up under pressure. Don't you know that one of these Olympic champions has to have more motive than looking good in his gym shorts? Huh? I mean, how far is that going to go? You know, about 4:30 in the morning when that trainer comes by there and says, "Get up, get up, get out of that bed. We got to go run 5 miles before breakfast." You know what you going to tell him to do with them gym shorts? Huh? Oh, forget looking good in them gym shorts. I ain't going to get out and run no 5 miles a day. What's the matter? Pressure. Pressure. And you think that's pressure. I mean, you go ask the guy, you know, that's quit smoking 785 times and see what pressure is. You go ask the man that's an alcoholic and has been bound to that demon alcohol for years and ask him how many times he's quit and ask him why he quit. Well, I want to be better for my family, you know, and all these different things. Most of them really don't want to quit drinking. They want to quit being drunk. Well, you can't do that any more than you can go on a diet 2 weeks and change the way you look. You can't do it. Well, what is my motive? Well, I had the Lord ask me that one time. I was praying. I knew God had already said to me, "Boy, you get yourself into shape. You get that body trimmed down." Man, I mean, I was this big around. I was bigger in the waist then than I am in the shoulders now. And I had to, you know, I had problems, man. I'm fighting this thing. The pressure is on. And every time I said out loud with my mouth, "I'm not going to eat any more of that," then whatever it was I said I wasn't going to eat any more of, I thought about it 24 hours a day. I wake up in the middle of the night, ice cream would be on my mind. Why? The Apostle Paul says there's a war in your members. There's a law working in the members of your flesh. It doesn't want to change. It isn't that your flesh is mad at you and mean, but it's ingrained and in a groove, and the devil is supporting that. He don't want you changing either. Told you this before. I'm going to reiterate it to you again because, boy, I'll tell you what, it'll open your eyes on something. A friend of mine, I met him, a number of years ago. He didn't get saved after 50-some years old. He'd just gotten paroled from San Quentin when he got saved. He'd been penitentiary more years than he'd been out. And part of his jail time, on one of his jail sentences, they were doing some research on drug addicts. And they didn't know back then the correlation between a man and an animal. They didn't want to keep on doing their experiments on a man. They didn't know how. It's too dangerous. So they teamed some of these convicts up that would volunteer for it, and there were some of them ready to volunteer for it. And each convict had a partner that was a chimpanzee. And they were both given the same amount of drugs, and then they tested both of them to see the correlation between the man and the monkey, so that in the future, on this drug testing, they were just learning back then. I mean, this is years and years and years ago. They were trying to find out what caused the addiction and all that kind of thing. And then they brought both of them off gradually together. And when they got to the end of this thing, the doctor told him, he said, "Now, this monkey that was his partner," he said, "she won't go back on drugs. She'll take her own 2 hands and choke herself to death. She'll commit suicide before she'll let anybody put her back on drugs." But he said, "You'll be back on drugs before dark." And they released him from prison. He said, and sure enough, I was back on it before dark. What's the difference between the man and the monkey? Both of them's physical bodies reacted the same way. The difference was that the devil don't care nothing about that monkey, but he's after that man because that man is an expression of the devil that he wants and desires to have full expression in this earth. The devil will use the monkey if he can't get anything else, but he's after that man. And it was what the devil was doing to his mind that had to be changed. And eventually he walked free from that drug habit. Praise God.